The day for Gaius, a Roman legionary, begins not with the sun, but with the sharp, piercing sound of the signum horn. There's no snooze button here. He and the 7 other men of his contubernium, or tent group, rise immediately from their simple straw pallets. The air is cold, especially on the German frontier. The first task is simple but essential, dressing in his woolen tunic and sturdy sandals. Discipline is everything. Every piece of equipment has its place, and every soldier is expected to maintain it meticulously from the moment they wake. There's no time for a leisurely breakfast. A quick bite of panis militaris, a hard, dry bread, is all he gets for now. He and his tent mates share a single millstone, and they take turns grinding the grain ration they were issued for the day's meals. Water is fetched from the camp's well. It's cold and clean, a testament to Roman engineering even in a temporary marching fort. Before the official muster, he does a quick check of his gear. A loose strap or a spot of rust could earn a harsh reprimand. His comrades do the same. A silent, shared understanding of duty and mutual reliance fills the small space of their shared quarters. As the camp fully awakens, the sounds of thousands of men preparing for the day create a low, constant hum of organized activity. Gaius falls into formation on the parade ground. The sentry, 80 men strong, stands in perfect, rigid lines, shields and spears held just so. The Centurion, a hardened veteran distinguished by his transverse crested helmet, strides before them. His gaze misses nothing. He stops in front of a young recruit, pointing out a scuff on his leather sandal with the vetus, his staff of office. Gaius holds his breath as the Centurion passes him. His armor is polished to a mirror shine, his helmet free of any dents. This daily inspection isn't just about appearances. It's about ensuring every single piece of equipment is ready for any eventuality. The Optio, the Centurion's second-in-command, stands at the end of the line, holding a wax tablet to record the day's orders and duties. The Centurion barks the day's orders, a full day's march, followed by the construction of a new marching camp. A collective, silent groan goes unheard. Pay, punishments, and promotions might also be announced during muster, a public affair for all to witness. The inspection concludes. The men are dismissed to gather their heavy marching packs, the tools of their trade, and their mobile homes. The morning's ritual is complete. The Legion is a well-oiled machine, and every soldier is a vital, inspected, and functioning part. The march begins. Gaius hefts his sarcina, a heavy pack weighing over 60 pounds, onto his shoulders using a T-shaped pole. This pack contains everything he needs to survive: rations, a cooking pot, a shovel, 2 wooden stakes, and personal items. The column of men stretches for miles, a river of steel and leather flowing through the countryside, moving at a steady, relentless pace. They march for hours, covering up to 20 miles in a standard day. The caligae, his heavy-duty military sandals, are essential. Discipline on the march is absolute. Straggling is not an option. The Centurions patrol the column, ensuring the pace is maintained. The Legion isn't just an army, it's a mobile engineering corps. Surveyors march ahead, planning the straightest possible route. If a stream is in the way, they don't go around it. Engineers direct the legionaries to build a temporary wooden bridge, often in mere hours. The rhythmic tramp of thousands of sandals, the creak of leather, and the clank of gear is the only soundtrack for hours on end. Gaius shifts the weight on his shoulders. His mind drifts, thinking of home, a warm meal, or simply the moment they are ordered to halt. Finally, in the late afternoon, the signal is given. They've reached the location for tonight's camp, but the day's hardest work is just beginning. As soon as the march halts, the Legion transforms into a construction crew. There is no rest. The camp must be built before dark. Gaius grabs the shovel from his pack. His unit is assigned to dig the fossa, a defensive ditch around the camp's perimeter. The excavated earth is used to build a rampart, or agger, just inside the ditch, creating an immediate wall of earth. Next come the stakes. Each man carries 2 heavy, sharpened wooden stakes, and thousands are driven into the top of the rampart. This creates a formidable palisade, a sharp wooden fence that makes assaulting the wall nearly impossible for any foe. While some dig, others are tasked with laying out the camp's interior in a perfect grid pattern, just like a miniature city. Gaius and his tent mates then erect their leather tent in its designated spot. Every contubernium has an identical plot. 4 gates are constructed, 1 on each side of the square camp, complete with wooden towers for sentries. In just a few hours, an empty field has become a fortified town, capable of housing and defending the entire Legion. Exhausted and covered in dirt, Gaius can finally unbuckle his armor. The camp is secure, a testament to Roman organization and labor. With the camp built, Gaius's thoughts turn to food. The evening meal is the main meal of the day and a welcome reward. His primary ration is wheat. He uses the grain he ground this morning to make a simple porridge or a thicker, unleavened bread. This is supplemented with whatever is available. Today, it's a small piece of bacon and some hard cheese, both excellent sources of energy. To drink, he doesn't have water, but pasca. This is a mix of sour wine or vinegar with water, which was cheap and killed bacteria. He and his tent mates often pool their rations to cook a larger, more varied meal together, strengthening their bond. Vegetables like lentils or beans are common additions, carried in their packs or foraged if the situation allows. This high-carb, high-protein diet was designed for endurance, providing the thousands of calories needed for marching and manual labor. He eats quickly, savoring every bite. It's not gourmet food, but it's hot, filling, and earned with a full day of sweat. After eating, he meticulously cleans his cooking pot and utensils. Hygiene is crucial for preventing disease in the crowded camp. With his stomach full and his duties done for the moment, a brief window of personal time opens before nightfall. If not on the march, the afternoon is reserved for relentless training. A legionary's proficiency is his and his comrades' best defense. Gaius and his cohort practice with wooden swords, or rudes, which are heavier than their actual gladi to build strength. They drill stabbing motions, not wide slashes. The gladius was a short, brutally efficient stabbing weapon, and they trained to use it perfectly. Formation drills are constant. They practice forming the testudo, or tortoise formation, locking their shields to create a protective shell. The Centurion shouts commands, ordering them to wheel left, advance, or hold their ground, all while maintaining the integrity of the formation. They also practice with the pilum, their heavy javelin. They learn to throw it with maximum force to disrupt an opponent's charge. Physical conditioning is brutal. They run for miles in full armor, perform calisthenics, and practice jumping over obstacles. This intense training builds not just skill and stamina, but also unit cohesion, the absolute trust between the men in the line. The repetitive nature of the drills makes every action second nature, allowing them to react instantly and without thought in a real situation. As the training session ends, the men are exhausted but sharper. They are not just soldiers, they are professional weapon systems. Being a legionary is a job, and on payday, Gaius lines up to receive his wage. Service was a long-term career, not a short adventure. His annual salary is 225 denarii, paid in 3 installments. It's a respectable sum, but it doesn't all go into his pocket. From this pay, there are mandatory deductions. The largest is for food, ensuring every soldier is fed the standard ration. He also has to pay for his own clothing, sandals, and personal equipment and contribute to the camp's burial club. Even his armor and weapons are technically a loan from the state, and he may have to pay for any replacements if they are lost. After all the deductions, his take-home pay can be quite small. Many soldiers relied on other means to make money. The real prize wasn't the salary, but the premia, or retirement bonus, granted after 25 years of honorable service. This bonus could be a huge sum of 3,000 denarii, or a plot of good farmland somewhere in the empire, a chance to build a new life. This promise of a secure retirement was a powerful incentive that kept men like Gaius in service through decades of hardship. Gaius carefully stashes his few coins in a small leather pouch. It's not much, but it's one step closer to that final reward. In the brief hours between the evening meal and the final trumpet call, Gaius has some time for himself. Leisure is a precious commodity. Gambling is officially forbidden, but unofficially rampant. He joins a small game of dice with his tent mates, wagering tiny copper coins. In more permanent forts, the bathhouse is the center of social life. Here, soldiers can relax, clean up, and gossip. Gaius might spend some time maintaining his equipment, not as a duty, but as a quiet, meditative task, sharpening his gladius. Letters home are a vital link to the world he left behind. He uses a stylus to painstakingly write on a wax tablet. He writes to his family, telling them he is well, asking about the farm, and promising to send money when he can. Religious observance is personal. He might visit a small, informal shrine to offer a prayer to Mars or his family's household gods. Storytelling is a popular pastime. Veterans share tales of their service in distant lands, of strange customs and old campaigns. These moments of camaraderie are essential for morale, turning a group of strangers into a band of brothers who rely on each other. But this precious downtime is short-lived. Soon, the trumpet will sound for the night watch to be set and for the men to sleep. Tonight, Gaius has the third watch. He is woken in the dead of night to take his post on the camp's rampart. He dons his armor once more and climbs the wooden ladder to the walkway atop the palisade, his spear in hand. The camp below is dark and silent, save for the glow of a few banked fires and the snores of thousands of sleeping men. His duty is to watch and listen, to be the eyes and ears of the Legion while it sleeps, guarding against any surprise. Every rustle in the woods, every snap of a twig, every hoot of an owl sends a jolt of adrenaline through him. He paces his section of the wall, a lonely figure against the stars. Falling asleep on duty is a capital offense. To stay awake and alert, sentries would challenge each other with a password as they passed, ensuring no one had been silently replaced. The hours crawl by, the cold seeps into his bones, and his mind plays tricks on him, seeing shapes in the shadows. He thinks of his comrades, sleeping safely because he and the other sentries are vigilant. The responsibility is immense. Finally, he hears the footsteps of his replacement. He passes on the password, and his watch is over. He can return to his pallet. Back in his tent, Gaius collapses onto his straw bed. Sleep comes instantly, but it will be short. The horn will sound again at dawn. This single day, filled with marching, digging, training, and watching, is just one of about 9,000 he will serve to earn his retirement. His life is one of routine, discipline, and hardship. It's far from the constant glamour often depicted in films. Yet, it's this daily grind, multiplied by hundreds of thousands of men like him, that built and maintained the Roman Empire. The roads they marched on became the arteries of commerce and communication for centuries to come. The camps they built grew into major European cities, their grid-like layouts still visible in places like London and Cologne. The discipline they embodied created a peace, the Pax Romana, that allowed an entire civilization to flourish. Gaius is just one anonymous soldier, a single cog in a vast and powerful machine that shaped the course of Western history. He doesn't know his legacy, he only knows the weight of his pack, the feel of his shovel, and the promise of dawn. And tomorrow, he will get up and do it all over again, for the glory and stability of Rome.